Hello, I wanted to make a quick video on how to turn any Google slide presentation into a GIF. Now you may ask why you want to do this. There's quite a few different answers to that. One, it's fun, it's cool. Another way is that simply put, we learn through repetition, and that's exactly what a GIF is. It can go through repetition. It's a lot of fun to make for you, but it's also a lot of fun to challenge your students to make them. It's a great way for them to display their learning. Here are some that I made. Obviously, your students can make these as well. It'd be super cool to show they have to pick a chemical change and then turn it into a GIF. Area of a triangle can work for math. Here's one just for fun. And how hurricanes work. They could do something like that. It's a great way to bring personality. It's another way. A lot of times I may have a GIF demonstrated or a GIF playing at the front of the room as they walk in, just to let them know what we're going to be covering that day. So let me show you how I use it in my classroom. So we were introducing 8.6c, the T, going over Newton's 3 laws of motion. They knew we always started off the day by reading the teak. And so this would be the presentation. We would talk about it and go through each one. But why not turn this into a GIF that's playing as they walk in? And that way they can start getting ready, start to know what to expect, what they're going to be covering today. So let me show you how you would do it. Again, this is a Google presentation, only works in Google. So the site you're going to want to use is talltweets.com. Bookmark it, super awesome, super easy. Not a flash to it, not a lot of flash to it, just because it's really easy. Okay. It's going to ask you to sign in. Just sign in with your Google. That's just so that it can find your Google Slides, and that's all it's going to do. It's not going to go through anything else. It only pulls up your Google Slides. So then you're going to select your presentation. I suggest saving it. Whatever you're going to do. And so mine I knew was Intro to Newton's Laws. So I'm going to click there. I'm not familiar with Tall Tweet's server space. I do know that sometimes you can get that spinny wheel for a rather lengthy time, especially if you have a big presentation, but mine was only 4 slides, so it wasn't that bad. Now the GIF image width, that's going to be up to you how big you want this. Now I'm going to have this played on my whole board as the students walk in. So this would be anywhere from 800 to 1,000 pixels. I know these here I made fairly small. That's why they look super sharp. I think these were around 400 or 500. This guy was at about 600, but as you can see when it gets stretched, it's a little pixelated, but nothing too bad. So for this sake, I'm just going to do, let's go 850. Slide duration. This is a very, very important part. Mine is going to be text. I want them to read it, so I don't want it to go too fast. So I'm going to do 5 seconds per one. Okay, that means 5 seconds per slide. If you're doing fun animation like this, you're going to want to make them obviously a lot faster. You can use decimals. I mean, you can go super, super fast, okay? And you can play around with that. I'm just going to do 5 seconds. Here, sequence of slides, if you have a huge presentation and you only want a couple of them, you can do like 1, 2, then I want 3 through 5, then I want my 9th slide, etc. Mine is all of them, so I'm just going to leave that blank. Then you click Create GIF. You're going to get your spinning wheel, of course, and now your GIF's created. It will give you a preview right here. So mine was text. Now that I see that, 5 seconds is not just a ton of time. So I would change that probably to like 7 or 8 so they could have more time on it. Now you're going to click Save. It's going to download. It always downloads here. Just a bit of caution, it always saves it as download.gif. So what I would do is show in folder. Oh yeah, here's all my awesome downloads. So you're going to want to change download. You want to rename it, because otherwise every time you download one, it's just going to keep replacing it because it has the same name. So I'm just going to call it Newton's GIF. And boom, now I have that. And let me find it. I believe it did it alphabetically. So now I can have that. Now I can just drop this into my presentation on whatever I'm working on. As far as like my bell ringer, and this is just going to play at the beginning as my students walk in so they know what to expect. All right. Now, if you're getting rather adventurous and want to start making things like this. Let me show you how to do it. It works like the old school flip books. I think we all did them when we were kids, where you draw something and then you move it just a little bit on the next page, a little bit more on the next page, a little bit more, and that's how you would create this. So mine's going to be area of a triangle. All I did was duplicate slide, and then I added in duplicate the triangle. That's exactly what I did here. I just right clicked here. You can copy, then paste, and boom, now I have a duplicate slide or a duplicate triangle. And then this is where it works like the old school flip book. So duplicate slide, then you just move it just a little bit, duplicate slide, move it just a little bit. Please do not look at this through your eyes. I know to us this could look rather lengthy and tedious, but remember how much the kids would absolutely love doing something like this. They can make some really, really cool ones, okay? And so for the sake of time, I'm not gonna go through, but over here on the left-hand side, you can see what I did. And all I did was duplicate slide, move it a little bit more. Just to let you know, this one took me maybe 4 minutes to make, so not that long. This would be awesome to have playing up there on the board, so they, as they're going through their independent practice on doing area of a triangle, that way it's just over and over and over, they can see it, okay? And then I would just go over to tall tweets and I would drop that in there. I would do 600 for the area of a triangle. You probably want to do it at probably like 0.8. Oh, I need to find it. I apologize. So area of a triangle, find it. Okay, well, while that's going, I'll show you some of the ones that I've made in the past. Made some goofy ones for Valentine's using my Bitmoji. Here was the chemical change one that went through. Here's a motorcycle one just to show motion and relativity with the tree in the background. Everything's relative to show speed. Here was a literacy one that I dropped on Twitter just to get students thinking about technology and literacy, how they work together. A goofy one, just dancing. So you can do all kinds of stuff with this. This is a lot of fun. Okay, so now it's here. I'm going to make this one 500. I'm going to do it at 0.7 seconds. Create GIF. That might be pretty fast because there is some text. And then we'll see what it does. Oh yeah, actually that's a good speed for it. Okay. And then you could just have this playing in the background, have your students make it. Just keep in mind, while they're sitting there making this, they're spending all that time, and while they're doing it, they're obviously focusing on the content, area of a triangle. That's pretty much all I got. If you have questions and want me to facilitate a lesson or help with it, do PLC, or even come out and teach the students how to do it, I would absolutely love to do that. This is something that I really enjoy doing. It's a lot of fun, and I think your students will get a ton out of it. All right. Thank you, guys.